بترحب بحضراتكم كمان مرة وهنرجع نكمل مع بعض البرزنتيشنز بتاعتنا. هنجو ديبر وهنبقى سبيسيفيك اكتر دلوقتي. بعد كده عندنا كمان سكسس ستوري قوية. بعد ما هنخلص التو برزنتيشنز اللي معانا هنتقسم لتو جروبس. جروب هيكون للريتيل اندستري وهيطلعوا في قاعة اسمها قاعة شاه، وهنتقسم الجروب الثاني للكونسيومر برودكتس اندستري ومعاهم الديستريبيوشن كمان هيطلعوا في قاعه ثانيه اسمها فلورنتاين، هيتكلموا ان ديتيلز اكتر كل واحد في المجال بتاعه. بعديها هنرجع تاني هنا كلنا عشان نجوين اي سي اس تيم فور لانش. دلوقتي هيبقى عندنا presentation. I would like to invent Mr. Yavus Durgut Industry Consumer Industries, and he's going to talk to us about the consumer engagement in the digital economy. Mr. Yavus Durgut, please join us.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank ECS as well for this brilliant event. I will briefly talk about digitalization in consumer industries. I will not be only concentrating on the consumer products, but I will have distribution and retail as well. As a tradition, let's start with a video.
Now you can be more collaborative, intelligent, responsive, and efficient in the digital economy. SAP, done simple.
We have here, consumer is in the middle of everything. When we talk about automotive, when we talk about the suppliers, when we talk about the airlines, everything actually connected to consumer. And the touching points for retail and wholesale and consumer products companies are the biggest points. So actually, these companies, consumer industries companies, are living hand to hand and developing everything for the consumers themselves directly. And these consumers are always on. Everybody has a couple of mobile phones. You are always connected. You are always on the verge of additional connections. So hyperconnectivity is already there. We like to have, as consumers, what we want and where we want. So when you look at it like that, there is a real trend in the consumer industries going toward the multi-channel, omni-channel business. And as a consumer, I like to feel special. I like to have personalized experiences and outcomes, not products. Product might be the same, but when it comes to the experience, I like it to be personalized experience. So this gives us a tremendous growth potential, because a lot of now the world is connected. not only consumers, but the connected cars, connected machinery, connected assets. While connecting, they like to do whatever they like at the place where they like most. So we have a very big potential here. And when you look at Egypt in specific, of course, this presentation was prepared like a couple of weeks ago in that sense. So let's go over the figures a bit. IMF is forecasting a very huge growth in the next couple of years for Egypt. And in 2014, the household consumption expenditure increased like 82%. So it is when you see that although the modern channel is like 40 to 50% of the whole channels in Egypt, there is a certain trend towards a modern channel and key account business. So although low income, high volume segments still attractive, now there's a high growth potential and opportunities to the formal market to offer a range of higher value products, meaning that it is not only now mass commodity, but we are going towards a high value added products industry in Egypt. When you look at the FMCG segment, although a lot of crises happened for the last couple of years, FMCG stays strong. And food consumption increasing by more than 10% every year. So it's maintaining local food production with dual factories is a major challenge. So what are we going to do is that modernize, technologize, and then digitalize. And when you look at the investment trend towards Egypt, it is increasing. Nestle, Kellogg already here. So there will be many more international brands investing in Egypt in the next couple of years. So it is time to reimagine our business. How are we going to do that? We need to go to the consumer and the customer with personal and relevant and simple experiences. This is what consumers would like to. It is not an influencing word anymore, but the consumer would like you to talk to their hearts. So they like to align themselves with the brands. And whenever we can do this as consumer industries, then we decrease the churn rate, we increase the loyalty. But to do this, we cannot do stuff incrementally different. We need some changes in the root. We need to change fundamentally. And to change fundamentally, we need to think about the outcome industry. It is not SKU, it is not article, but we are talking about the outcomes here. In the previous presentations, we talked about the outcomes. Like John Deere's, they are offering their services instead of their products. This is an outcome. Or compressor guys, this Kaiser, they are doing the same. Or when we look at the consumer industries, we are again talking about the outcomes, because product differentiation can only be managed by the outcome differentiation. There are two identical products from two different manufacturers or brands. When it comes to the choosing one of them, you go for one. So how to affect the consumer at that point? This is the outcome. Outcomes are not SKUs, so you cannot forecast that. So you cannot manufacture that. So at that point, you need to deal with the outcome. Meaning that the moment of opportunity is so tiny, if you lose it at that point, you cannot catch it anymore. When I go to a store, look for my favorite yogurt brand in Dubai, I'm living in Dubai. When I cannot find it, I go directly for another one. I don't care. My cat only eats that certain brand, but I eat all kinds of yogurt. So that outcome is not managed, is not being able to manage by that certain company at that point. And they lose me. So, how to respond to these moments of opportunity? First of all, as consumer industries, we need to listen. We need to sense and respond to the real-time market signals. You know, if someone had told me this 5 years ago, I would say that, no way. It is not possible. I mean, because we had all these traditional databases, traditional response systems, exception systems, exception processing, etc., etc. But at this point, we have the technology. We have the tools. So we can really work real time and fast. This should come together. So I can really sense the demand and I can act accordingly. Another point, I need to be agile, and I need to be agile to adapt to the change. It means there is no more exception planning or so. Everything is an exception. Everything. So we need to act accordingly. And we need to touch the consumer wherever they need, wherever we have the opportunity. So in the time of the need. So we need to sense them, we need to be agile for the changes, and we need to touch consumer directly. Think about two cases here. One of them is an energy drink manufacturer. We know this guys. We don't usually use names, but you know those guys. They started like caffeinated energy drink. And now, it is totally different. You see that they are astronauts jumping from the space. You see that they have this jumping championships or whatever. So they become a joy and acceleration and adventure company. It is totally different area. It is not manufacturing, it is not consumer goods anymore. It is all together. Or think about a B2B company that delights consumers with 3D printing of the lipsticks. It is pretty interesting and it's working. So my wife can go and take a picture of some color, send that to that company. They can send a recipe to her to print her own color lipstick at home. It is there. We have seen the Barilla video. Barilla is now 3D printing its packagings. It will be there. So we need to reimagine. We need to reimagine the business models. We have like manufacturing. I'm manufacturing croissant, I'm manufacturing dairy, I'm manufacturing meat products, etc., etc. I need to monetize on what I have. I need to think of vertically. I need to find different industries to penetrate. This is the difference we need to think of. Let's say a retailer. You have a lot of data. POS data, customer data, loyalty data. Bring them together with other retailers and monetize on that. Like Pirelli. It's a different industry. They can monetize the sensor data by selling that data to car dealers and insurance makers, insurance guys, it is a very important data. So try to monetize on that. So try to change your way of thinking and try to integrate other areas. Retailers, go into contact with the telco and try to create some new scenarios, how to track the retail, how to track the consumers. You know, I had another video, but I will not show it here, but it's about a promotion. So tracking by a telco company, the consumer, when the consumer gets into a competitive store, fashion store, that the other fashion company sends a message to his or her mobile telling him that 100% discount, and discount diminishes 1% every second. You can see that it happened in Mexico. These guys, I mean, the consumers were running like rats. It was incredible because, and one guy actually caught 80% discount on a shoe, running from one store to the other in 20 seconds. So it is all about the outcome. It is all about the change in the reimagining. Another, try to monetize on any kind of data. Now you have that data. You have that data historically. You have that data currently. Try to use that. But to use that, you need a core. You need to put and extract information from that data. This is part of the digitalization. Business processes, different types of engagement, different ways of dealing with the consumers required at this point. Everybody has sales process, everybody has procurement process, everybody has, or the manufacturer's manufacturing process, warehousing process. But we need to think of them to go more efficiently and towards the OPEX side, instead of capitalizing on everything on the assets or what. So think about Nespresso. Nespresso was not there 10 years ago. Nespresso now, one of the best run businesses ever, because they see the efficiency in single capsules, only the content and the color different. They are now connecting to coffee machines with sensors, tracking the availability even, and then even creating automatic order. This is B2C. And they change it their way. Another example, Hampton Creek. Hampton Creek is the most sold mayonnaise in Whole Foods in the US. And that mayonnaise doesn't have egg. Mayonnaise without egg. They did a research with 400,000 ingredients on database in memory and online database, and they came up with a different recipe for their mayonnaise. So they changed the new product development cycle as a whole. Another example from the business, changing the business process, is changing the role of the store associates in retail. Now, whenever I go, I'm also handling the automotive dealers in the region. They always ask me about how do I know my consumer or customer when he or she comes into the store. How can I do that? It will change the way of store associates going towards these consumers. It will change radically. So when I go into a store, I will feel that I am special, but I am not actually. But they know me. So with precision retailing, with, I don't know, face recognition maybe, or some near-field communication, or different types of Bluetooth technologies, I will be connecting to the manufacturer and the retailer on the field. So everything will change in the stores. We were discussing with Manuel yesterday about, he actually taught me how to use the text-to-speech property in WhatsApp. It is brilliant, and it's working in Turkish, in English, probably in Arabic as well. You should test it. And it was like, you know, I learned a new thing, and now a lot of people around me also learning about that. And it's something brilliant. Recognition and deciding on the language skills, it is all coming there. So when it comes to the recognition, it will also change the stores, retail stores. Everything will be changed in that sense. So we need to reimagine work as well, because we are always talking about the business models, which is external, mostly business processes, internal, external, but as well as work. We need to change how we are dealing with our internal workers, operations, and the functions. So reimagining work will start from the boards. Everything will be like, you know, everything will be on my hands, just before my eyes, when I am deciding on something as a board member of some company. And trainings and the functionality dependencies or scheduling of people to the jobs will be all online and will be automatic and optimized in that sense. So we need to think of changing the work as well. Digital business is here. It will stay. Check Moore's law, Metcalfe's law, etc. You know, we were discussing with Mohammed outside, and then he asked me this question, and I told him that I'm a bit actually frightened about that, because now we are going to an AI era. So Google is working on that, Microsoft working on that, Tesla working on that, everybody's working. And we are creating robots. But these robots will manufacture more brilliant, more AI-powered robots at the end. So I don't know where it will end, but digitalization will stay here. Think about 2 fax machines or 1 fax machine, 0 communication. 2 fax machines, 1 communication. 3, 2, 5, 6, 7. Think about it. 2 to the power n. Now, with millions of people, billions of people connecting to each other, now we have that multi-connectivity and mega connections. Digitalization is already here, and we need to adapt now. Otherwise, we will be dead. Translators will be gone. Again, thanks to Manuel about that. Really, it is not good to talk about it. My cousin is a translator, but at the end, this is where it's going. It is changing like that. Maybe in 10 or 20 years of time, we will not have any car manufacturing like Volkswagen or so. There will be 1 single or 2 single, a couple of, you know, manufacturers, and they will manufacture all autonomous cars, all automatic stuff. So it is really changing. Maybe I will not see that. I'm 46. In 30 years of time, I don't know. But my kids, your kids, will see that. And at some point, this is the right time to catch the train. Thank you very much. I can take some questions. Do I have time? Any questions? Thank you.